on to the road all weekend, so I was like in my chair with my crocheting and, it was nice, except that. Finished.
Call to order the regular common council meeting Monday, November 18th, 7:02 p.m. Roll call.
Kribel?
Here.
Grisanti?
Here.
Andy Davis?
Yes.
Shaw?
Yes.
Paul Davis?
Yes.
Burdick?
Jim's excused. Second, pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, please control the meeting notice.
Meeting notice was posted on Friday, November 15th at the library, the city hall, the post office, and the website.
Thank you. Now, next we'll open, oh, I did that one. And also acceptance of the agenda. So moved.
I'll second.
Motion is second to accept the agenda. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Public hearing. A public hearing regarding the 2025 proposed budget document. Move back wrong before we open up the public hearing.
In your packet, it is a resolution that, at the time it was written was accurate. There have been a couple of things that have happened since the Friday packet went out. And I will explain them, and then also in front of you should be this explanation as well as two alternative resolutions for you to consider this evening. So, two things that happened. The first thing is, information we received today regarding a chargeback. So, I'll try to summarize it quickly. It is a illegal tax that was charged to a property. So, we had to refund that money back to that taxpayer. And then we received authorization from the state to receive from all the taxing jurisdictions the money that they received for this illegal tax. They have to repay us. But there is the city's portion that we're out because we gave it to the person who we repaid because we go to tax them. So that amounts to $2,236. That is something that the levy limit worksheet allows us to add back in because we're short that. So, the first resolution, which mirrors the resolution that was in your packet, that is called the chargeback resolution, just so we can refer to them and keep them clear, just covers that additional $2,236 that you can add onto your levy. Just to make it clear, we put that in contingency, increase the contingency by that amount. You can put it wherever you like. That seemed like a logical place without any further direction to tuck it in. So, that's the first resolution that otherwise leaves your budget in the same position that it was. And as you recall, that meant that in the packet that you received, you had to reduce your budget by around $20,000 because of a DOR opinion about the fire district budget and it not meeting CPI +2. So, what came in late last night from the fire district chief is a proposal that he will take to his board not until Thursday. So this is not Wednesday, thank you. A clarification that this is not approved yet, but this is what he intends to do, is he intends to take a modified budget to his board that will reduce costs to the west side, our side of the district, by enough to reduce the charge to the city of Edgerton and charges to the other 4 municipalities on the west side by an amount equal to our $20,000. So it's a $60,000 reduction in the fire district budget. We're about a third of it. So the impact on us is basically taking that $20,000 you thought you had to remove and putting it back in by simply reducing costs in the fire district budget. So that would be an alternative also for you. That one's called the lower fire district so that we know how to compare these two. So if you were to adopt the lower fire district budget in anticipation of the chief's proposal being accepted by the fire district board of reducing their budget, you could simply adopt that version of the resolution. Staff has suggested that since we don't know what will happen on Wednesday evening, you could also include in a motion if you wish to accept the lower district, fire district budget resolution. And then if you wish, you could say that you may wish to, if that doesn't happen, then how you wish to find the $20,000. You could get back together and have a meeting, or you could include that by, as an example, you could say, we're going to use 2024 contingency in order to cover that if in fact the fire district doesn't make a change. So you don't have to, but if you wish to, that would cover us and not require us to get together and adopt an amended resolution. Well, I'll stop there. It's all a mess, but I'll try to explain if you have any questions.
So the one thing I can't do with the fire district is I feel that it's going to pass Wednesday evening at the board for the lower amount. I just want to caution that next year, because some of the savings is coming from not hiring till June, the 3 additional people. Next year will be a full year, so just keep that in mind, right? So it's not like we're gonna see a savings next year, we're gonna see the full amount at budgeting for next year. In case anybody looks at next year and says, wow, where's that big difference? It's because this year it's gonna be half a year, next year it's gonna be a whole year. But I do believe Wednesday night it's gonna go through with the lower amount.
But I have a broader question, so maybe we should go through this first and then can I ask my question about fire district, or do I just ask it now?
We need to do the public hearing.
We might want to get into our public hearing.
Oh, I was stuck.
Yeah, we're not the public, are we?
Nope.
I forgot.
Okay, we'll officially open up the public hearing. If there's anyone that wishes to speak on the budget, please state your name and address for the record. Okay, not seeing any activity out there, so officially close the public hearing and move on to consider adoption of City of Edmonton Resolution 2824. Adopt the 2025 annual budget and establish a 2024 property tax levy for the City of Edmonton. We have the discussion on the items here.
So my question is that, Mike, here's my question. How can we take a $60,000 reduction in budget? We just found out about this and 3 days later, we know we can take 60 grand out?
Well,
Are we budgeting appropriately on the fire district, or are we just trying to get the most we can get? And then we'll take it out if we don't use it?
Moving the hiring back of the
correct.
new staff.
So
You think that's all, that's what the difference is? Is
Yeah.
that what we're saying?
That's what we're being told.
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
and originally they wanted to hire him at the beginning of the year, then hire him in April, and now hiring him in June.
Okay.
But that's why I'm also letting you guys know that for next year, it's gonna be a large amount, because it'll be for a full year.
As long as we are appropriately budgeting, I completely understand. If we are just trying to get as much money as we can get in a fire district budget, that's not okay. We need to budget what is needed, not what we can maximally get.
Yeah.
The other note I would make, and I think I've been the first staff report, this budget does not meet either of the metrics that are in the intergovernmental agreement of the fire district. So in order to exceed both of those metrics, they will have to come back to all 10 municipalities and get 7 of them to agree to exceed the caps that limit how much the fire district budget grows. So that would be on a future agenda, assuming, well, in any event, everything I've heard from the chief is that they will make that request.
Correct, that request will be made, Wednesday night, we'll talk about it, because we're not meeting net, obviously CPI plus 2, we're not meeting net new construction. We will be needing we would need 7 of the 10 municipalities to pass, because we're going to exceed net new construction. But so I am saying 90-some% if that's what it's gonna be. And so it'll be more of a procedural thing the next time we come back. Now, if we get to Wednesday night and some municipalities don't want to go this route, if there's more than the 7 that don't want to do it, chief is gonna have to go without hiring the 3 new additional. Then we would need CPI plus 2.
Would they have to go ahead with hiring them?
No, he wouldn't be able to hire them.
Glad to hear that.
He would not be able to hire him, or he'd have to slash the budget 60-some thousand elsewhere, he says, and he can't do it, that's a large amount. So it would be not hiring the 3 additional
At all.
at all.
We can hold off till, June or July. Why do we need them now?
I would suggest people come to the meetings and voice that. If that's your concern, it's not your choice.
Right,
And the calls do suggest, and the type of calls do suggest, we need the staffing. I'm not opposed to the staffing. And just like everything else that's a competitive business, I'm not opposed to the staffing. We do have the number of calls that do state we need additional people.
Okay, so then the one we should go would be with the lower fire district and some kind of recommendation as to where to get the funding from.
If it doesn't.
If it doesn't, yeah.
And, straightforward would be to do it, take it from contingency.
Either 2025 contingency, reduce the 25 contingency, or the 2024 contingency, carry that forward into 2025. You may recall in 2024,
Right,
so,
right.
you know, you can, either one of those would be an option, they're both contingency kind of related options.
So we're looking for, to make a motion to approve the adoption of City of Edgerton Resolution 28-24, I'm making this one. Adopt the 2025 annual budget, and establish the 2024 property tax levy for the City of Edgerton. While, this resolution to include the lower fire district as noted in our packet. And if that does not pass, that we take the difference in the 2024 contingency budget and move it forward.
Wait, well, what?
Is there a second?
I'll second. Not so sure anybody else could have said it quite as eloquently, good job.
Did you get all that?
Need to include lower fire district version using 20. Yep, got it. Who seconded that?
I did.
And when does the fire district, their budget, when does that come in, you know, so that we see the breakdown of everything as opposed to just draw a line? Have you seen that?
Ramona has seen it, but once this is finalized, he'll have another
And
version correcting the budget for the fire
And
district.
will it come in like our format, like Maddie's format?
No,
It'll come with what, so
It'll come
I
in
spent
that
more than an
format,
hour
yes.
looking at his budget, I didn't make any
Yeah.
sense of it.
no.
So we need an understanding of where that money's going and where it's coming from. I'm good with numbers, I have no idea what that budget says. So it needs to be much clearer. Sorry.
On that, are the audits done?
The audits, they're still working on them. So we should have some sort of information from them in January. I've not heard where they have additional questions. They did email me as the treasurer, secretary treasurer, and asked that if they came up with anything with concerns or anything, should they go to the chief or should they come to the board? And I said they should come to the board, come through me. So I've not heard anything, so,
He asked this question under this.
yes.
So-
Only.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
So-
thanks.
so I will let you know once we hear.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, motion and a second to approve the City of Edgerton Resolution 28-24 Lower Fire District copy. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Shaw,
Yes.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Grisanti,
Yes.
Kribel,
Yes.
Paul Davis.
Yes. Motion passes. Thank you, everybody that's been involved in the budget process here. You listen to where we're at. Next item is personal appearances for non-agenda items. And we have Morgan Sally from our Spokane's office, and she'd like to update us on a few things.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks so much for having me. I won't take up too much of your time tonight, but I did want to stop by and put a face to a name for those of you who haven't met me. I think I've met a few of you. But as you said, my name is Morgan Solly, field representative for Congressman Mark Pocan. Purpose for attending tonight is just to talk a little bit about the direct impact that our office can make to you all and your constituents. The first service that our office provides is kind of this general umbrella of constituent services. So this would be where our casework team serves as a liaison between a constituent and a federal agency. We cover all federal agency casework at our Madison office. A few examples of topics we might be able to assist with would be passports, any issues with the IRS, Veterans Affairs, United States Department of Agriculture, the list goes on. And on top of that casework, where we kind of serve as that in between of a constituent and the agency, our office can also offer letters of support from Mark. So if there is an organization in the community applying for a federal grant, oftentimes Mark can send along a letter of support to accompany that federal grant application. I should specify for any federal grant. Our office also has the ability to do some research for potential grant opportunities for constituents. So if we have a potential applicant, maybe like a city or village government or a nonprofit, who maybe has like a need, an idea for a project that needs funding, but they don't really know if there are any federal grants available that might fund that project, that's something that I can look into as kind of the grants coordinator for our office, and see if there is anything available that might fit that need, and kind of give a little bit more information on what that might look like. And then finally, myself and the rest of our team are in frequent contact with our legislative staff and the congressman to ensure any community needs are communicated directly to Mark and to our relevant legislative staff. So we're always happy to collect opinions or pass along local concerns that are tied to federal policy. On all of that note, I did bring some business cards. So if you do ever have any questions or you wanted to reach out about like maybe grant research, or you need a letter of support for a federal grant, or truly anything, if you want to see Mark in your community for something or representation on our office if he's unavailable, I'm so happy to be that direct line for you. Please feel free to send me an email or give our office a call. And I'd be happy to get you connected. That's all I have for tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was my question, is if we had his contact information, so that we could,
I will
I'd like one.
pass those around.
I'm sure will.
And feel free to like pass my information along to any constituents who might need it. Like, don't feel like you need to hide that at all. So yeah, happy to be a resource for folks. And also happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Always.
If not, I'll probably head out to try and miss the rain back to Madison.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
It's always
Awesome.
wonderful putting a face.
Yeah, thanks for showing up.
Yeah, glad to be here. This is like my favorite part of the job, is just coming to different communities and seeing their leadership within the community. So it's really
Anytime you
exciting.
want to come and announce a grant, we'll take it.
Totally understood.
It's kind of like right now.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Anybody else wants to speak anything that's not on the agenda? Okay. Let's move on to the minutes from November 4th.
Make a motion to approve.
I second.
Motion and a second to approve the November 4th minutes. Any corrections or additions? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Bid reports, finance, Tim.
Finance met earlier this evening I'll make a motion to approve bills and payroll, the amount of $169,630.28.
I'll second. Motion and a second to pay the bills. Any questions on bills? Hearing none, roll call.
Shaw,
Yes.
Kribel,
Yes.
Grisanti,
Yes.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Paul Davis,
Yes. Pass, but would it be okay if we moved that? The item for Tom and Jenna up, I should have mentioned that before we started here, the appointment of the judge.
Oh, sure,
Well, that was all there.
but once we started, right, should we wait about finance or?
Didn't finance. Okay,
All right, I'll make motion to approve City of Edmonton Resolution 27-24, amend fee schedule for animal fees.
I'll second.
motion and a second to approve City of Edmonton Resolution 27-24. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Shaw,
Yes.
Kribel,
Yes.
Grisanti,
Yes.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Paul Davis.
Yes. Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve agent change for liquor and tobacco license for Quick Trip DBA Stop and Go, Agent Dawn Brummer.
I'll second.
Motion and second with agent change for Quick Trip. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Shaw,
Yes.
Kribel,
Yes.
Grisanti,
Yes.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Paul Davis.
Yes. Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve the lowest responsible bid for the library by Warden and Sons in the amount of $3,150. That will come from designated funds from 2020.
I'll second.
Motion and second for Peyton Library. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Shaw,
Yes.
Kribel,
Yes.
Grisanti,
Yes.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Paul Davis.
Yes. Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve the installation of EV charger at DPW, which is the cost of the actual installation, not the cost of the charger, because the chargers come with the truck, in the amount of $2,000 to Arch Solar.
I'll second.
Motion and second to approve the installation of EV charger. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Shaw,
Yes.
Kribel,
Yes.
Grisanti,
Yes.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Paul Davis.
Yes. Passes.
Make a motion to approve the purchase of an EV Ford truck for DPW in the amount of $58,019 from Ewald Automotive Group.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the purchase of EV truck. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Shaw,
Yes.
Kribel,
Yes.
Grisanti,
Yes.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Paul Davis.
Yes. Motion passes.
Make a motion to declare the DPW truck surplus and set the minimum bid at $8,000.
I'll second.
Motion and second to declare DPW truck surplus. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Shaw,
Yes.
Kribel,
Yes.
Grisanti,
Yes.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Paul Davis.
Yes. Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve the bids for the auctioned surplus items of the scoreboard, fuel caddy, and pickup truck that were less than our minimum, previously minimally set bid, but we're gonna approve them as they came in.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the surplus bids. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Shaw,
Yes.
Kribel,
Yes.
Grisanti,
Yes.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Paul Davis.
Yes. Motion passes.
And then finally, we're going to amend, and I'll make a motion to amend the policy regarding minimum bids for auction items, which we will still set a minimum bid, but the department heads have the autonomy to accept the bid if it's within 75% of our minimum.
I'll second.
Motion and second to approve the policy amendment regarding minimum bids. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Shaw,
Yes.
Kribel,
Yes.
Grisanti,
Yes.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Paul Davis.
Yes. Motion passes.
That's everything for finance.
Okay, if you're okay with moving the appointment of the judge down, should have done that when we waited for approval of the agenda. No objections?
No objection.
No objection.
We move down to number 10, consider appointment of municipal judge. Both the candidates are here. I don't know. You want questions for them or? We need to For the background here.
No, I think their, letters are in their packet. You should have the information that we have.
And this is from, what's the span of time?
It will be through April,
April Fool's Day.
Okay, so
and
this,
then
okay,
there'll have to be an election in April for a 1-year term. And then that next election will be your normal 4-year term.
okay,
We're still feeling our own day of hopes term.
okay.
So can we just ask the both of you, can you just give us a minute thought on why you should be the municipal court judge? And Tom, you start?
Jim, I can go first.
John, you start first. Doesn't matter to me. I kind of threw it at you, so you got some time, to get your thoughts, together. I know there was nothing behind the question, just whatever you think we should know.
Sure. I don't know that I should be the municipal judge. I think that I can give you my information and you can hear Tom's information and you're in a better position to decide who the better, who might be a better fit for what the need is at this time. I know many of you, but not all of you. My husband and I have been in the Edgerton community since 1999. We've been business owners of Edgerton Pharmacy and Rockland Pharmacy. And the community has been very good to us. And I would appreciate the opportunity at this point in my life to try to give back. I serve on the school board and that has been very fulfilling. And I'm searching for additional opportunities to give back to the community that have been so generous to us. I'm also inspired by my children who are 19, 17, and 14. And honestly, just want to be a good role model for showing them how they can live their lives and choices that they can make in their future. So if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer them. I did include my resume so you can see my professional background if that matters. But I've never been a judge, but I do believe that I have a lot of my experience in business ownership would serve me well. I've had to develop a temperament that is just very open-minded and compassionate and kind, yet consistent. And I think those are good qualities that I can offer the community. Thank you for consideration.
Thank you. Tom?
It was my idea to follow her, wasn't
Don't say
it? Well, most of you know me, and I guess I'm just gonna keep it real brief. There was an opening spot to where I thought I could fill in and help the city out, help the municipalities out to fill that void. And many of you know me, I'm just gonna let my credentials and history speak for themselves. That's about all I have.
Do you guys both intend to run in April?
That was just looking at the calendar, you got about a month. Probably about 2 court.
Yeah. It's on the table,
I'd say it's something I'm considering, but haven't made a final decision that that's what my intention is at this time.
It's not like you get a lot of learning experience and lead you one way or another because you're gonna have 2 board nights, maybe 2 or 4 or something like that between now and having papers in by the end of December.
Zero, that's right.
Oh, no court dates?
Assuming the Tom's taking on their boards, they won't be acting until early
That's
December.
right, yeah.
So this would be just a placeholder then, just having a name. If you're saying there's no court date set?
Well, we do December.
It was service only.
We just don't have anything before they have to put their nomination.
Before they
Well,
put
have to
their
make
name
your
on.
decision.
Thank you.
Have to make a decision or even before actually even do
Sure.
it.
Okay. That's right, thanks for that clarification.
All right, I don't know that I've ever gone through this. What's the next, do we
Yeah.
discuss it? Do we just throw out who we no,
Motion ultimately.
Yeah.
a motion ultimately, we need to do that before we can have discussion?
You can have a brief, discussion or ask additional questions if you have any, but otherwise it wouldn't be inappropriate to entertain a motion or to make a motion.
And I would just ask Jenna also, as far as just experience with, obviously, community, city court, but any experience in that kind of area of,
I'm gonna say fortunately, no.
okay, on either side, right?
Right.
Okay. Okay.
Can I just mention one thing? So when I went to the FBI, there is no prerequisite that you have to have any law enforcement experience. They teach you pretty much everything. And with Bill's experience, you know, if you do choose Jenna, Bill would definitely work with her and she can learn from him. And I'm sure Judge Pope is around, not to take anything away from Tom and his experience, you know, in the many years that he's been on the street. So just an FYI, don't let the experience thing scare you. It's pretty cut and dry when it comes to court.
I will note, just so anyone that has a question, there is a municipal judges institute. All judges, all municipal judges may go to it. All new judges do go to it. So, both these, whoever fills it, each of these, folks are gonna be expected to go to the municipal judges institute, and, it's a great resource. Luckily, we have a really good clerk, that can also guide.
True. That's a, why, yes, indeed. Lori is, great.
This is part of a court system, so there is a judge that this person answers. This isn't an independent kind of thing, so also note that support as well as the, you know, kind of the rules and regulations, you have someone to turn to for all of that. It's not, we're not functioning on our own.
We are not, it is regulated, absolutely.
And no matter what we do here, the Elgin and Fulton have to make a decision to one way or another, who they like. And takes the majority of the three municipalities to actually fill the spot.
Right.
So does anybody have any additional questions? I think both of you could do a very, very good job. I think this, just knowing both of you, I think it's a good one. So I don't know the process. Do I just throw out a name and then see if somebody agrees with me? And if not, then we go from there and we argue and discuss.
That'd be correct.
I would make a motion then to, appoint Jenna, as the municipal court judge.
Motion and second to appoint as the judge. Any further discussion?
Yeah, this one's really, this is an interesting process, is what I said. Chief, I'm glad to hear you say that about the experience. Tom, you have such great background experience, legal law, that kind of stuff. And so I really like that. What I really like, having somebody come in with no clear law enforcement is, it kind of opens my eyes to think you don't have to have it, and that anybody could possibly be right for a position like this. I think we too much pigeonhole ourselves into, if we think about municipal judge, you think about having to have a law background, you know, so I agree, both will be very good, but I like the idea too, that we can think outside the box, if you will.
Okay, anyone else? If no other discussion, roll call.
Shaw,
Yes.
Grisanti,
Yes.
Preble,
Yes.
Andy Davis,
Yes.
Paul Davis.
No.
Motion passes 4-1. Thank you both. Got the election coming up, so.
Yeah, that's actually, because it'll give you a good case for, you'll have some between now and April this year. you know.
You'll have to do something between now and then.
What?
Just decide to run.
Oh, I know, that's true, that's true.
The nomination papers for that are at the courthouse.
Yeah, don't come to me.
Okay. Thanks again. We'll move back up to the library board.
Right, library board met on November twelfth, paid some bills, and we also approved the days off for 2025, or the days closed for December, or for, I can't talk tonight, today. What's going on? For 2025. And that was it.
Thank you. Utility commission.
Let me bring it up here. There's, met on the 11th, and there's one thing that really jumped out, and I want to have that in front of me. Utility men. Go back a bit. Monday, November 11th at 5:45. What did we, the one thing that stood out was the SCADA computer upgrade at the wastewater treatment plant. I don't know if anybody's had a chance to tour the wastewater treatment plant or see some of the equipment they have. Most of it's very modern. Last year I had a chance to take a tour, and one of the things that was pointed out to me was this computer system that's very much outdated. And so it's running on an outdated version of Windows and needs to be upgraded. And I was very excited to see that they were getting an upgrade until we saw the cost, which is $26,292.02. And that's to upgrade the computer itself. It was approved by the utility board, which is something everybody needs to be aware of. And I know Ramona, I don't know if they got a chance to get you that information. We had asked Zach to provide a little more details just to kind of understand what was there. Have we seen?
I have, yeah, so
Okay,
the question is software and hardware, because the majority of the cost is in the software that operates the whole plant. So we are several generations behind on it also. And so, my understanding is the purchase of this license would then, this is one of those licenses that as updates come out, you don't have to pay for updates. But the commission asked for the breakdown between hardware and software, so we can feel this for a PC, that's crazy. So I think the majority of that cost is in software. We'll give that information to the commission. We can share it with the council if you'd like it also.
And it's not only updated, it is also unsupported, so.
Yeah.
it's- You're on your own, basically on your own with that.
and very
What
vulnerable.
did they say, Windows
7.
7?
Oh my God. It's running the wastewater treatment plant.
Yeah.
Wow.
They kept putting it off because it's so expensive. So we have a new IT company and they're like, whoa.
I mean, see that, like, that would be community cheaper.
Wow. Before it turns to crap.
Oh.
No.
Oh, and that was utility, unless I missed something, Paul. That was it.
All right, thank you. Personnel committee.
Personnel met this evening at 6:20 and we discussed 2 items that you're gonna see that we will make a motion on, but I'll, first go over the MOU with PPA for policies and wages for the police academy attendees. Basically will help chief with hiring for his vacancy that he has now and another that'll be coming up at the end of the year due to a retirement. In order to be competitive and attract qualified people, the request is to pay 75% of first year starting wages for the individual that would go while they're going through the academy.
Oh, okay.
Is that correct? Is that
Yes, that's correct.
So right now, we do not pay, the state will put the person through academy. But we don't pay for their time while they're going through the academy. But this is suggesting that we do pay up to, minimum of 75% of their first year wages while they're attending the academy. And we are probably one of the only, or very few, that don't do this now, so this puts us in a very competitive position. So having said that, I'll make a motion to approve the MOU with WPPA for policies and wages for police academy attendees.
I'll second.
The motion and second to approve the LOU with WPPA. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Candy Davis.
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Paul Davis.
Yes.
Kribel,
Yes.
Grisanti.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And the other item was, to discuss, hiring, giving the chief the ability to hire a, good, applicant, starting at the 1 year wage step instead of starting at the 0 or the beginning. Is that,
Yeah, so we have a candidate who has a year's experience already, did a 300-hour internship with the police department. And he was a current police officer in Evansville. He now wants to come to Edgerton. And you know, with his he's got at least a year's experience. I'd like to start him at the 1 year mark as opposed to the 0 mark.
and again, it's another, opportunity for us to be competitive.
More competitive, and it shows individuals that,
We care.
you know, we're serious about, you know, getting good candidates as police officers here in Edgerton.
With that, I'll make a motion to approve lateral wage rate for newly hired patrol officer.
I'll second.
Motion and second to approve the level wage rate for newly hired officer. Any discussion?
One quick question. Is this policy, it's because it says, is it officers? I mean, is this just a single one time kind of thing? This overall policy, let's say somebody comes to the department with 10 years experience.
It'll be case by case basis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Up to 5. We adopted this a couple of months ago. The council approved another MOU with the police union regarding this lateral hire pay. So that it's capped at 5 years, so you can't go any higher than that.
Okay, anyone else? Roll call.
Candy Davis.
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Paul Davis.
Yes.
Kribel,
Yes.
Grisanti.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And that's it with this now.
Thank you. Planning Commission met earlier tonight. Hopefully in the future we can get it. We don't have to be here for putting these things on here, but we've got a couple items to bring forward tonight. Paul, can you handle the motions?
Yeah. Make a motion to consider extraterritorial land division for Peterson for lot line adjustments on East Knudsen Road in section 13, town of Fulton.
I'll second.
Motion and a second to approve the extraterritorial land division for Peterson and lot line adjustment on East Knudsen Road. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed. Motion carried.
Okay, I also make a motion to consider extraterritorial land division for Henning to combine lots on North Arrowhead Shores Drive in section 16 of the town of Fulton.
I'll second.
Motion to approve the Henning combining lots of North Arrowhead Shores. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed. Motion carried.
Make a motion to consider extraterritorial land division for Case and UC to combine lots on Allendale Drive in section 11 of the town of Fulton.
I'll second.
Motion to approve the land division combining lots for Casey and UC Hoagie. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed. Motion carried.
And make a motion to consider extraterritorial land division for Bernstein to combine lots on Forest Avenue in section 36 of the town of Albion.
I'll second.
Motion to second to allow the combining lots on Forest Avenue. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed. Carried. Motion carried.
And finally, make a motion to consider extraterritorial land division for Morrison to combine lots on Highway 59 in section 7 of the town of Fulton.
I'll second.
The second to combine the lots for Morrison on Highway 59. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
That's it for planning.
Thank you. Next item is consider wages for mayor and council. Move that one.
Brief staff report on page 8. Alderperson Davis may, be able to take the lead on this. I just used
That
to.
Davis.
I think we called that there. Yes, all right. Let's clarify. Consider wage increase for council members. We just added a note that the last time the council, all the person's wages were increased was 1998, and the mayor was in 1996. So there's a survey that I think was provided a while ago. We didn't complete it. So if there is a request to consider this further, then we could gather whatever information you wish. We would certainly look at that survey and ensure that we have our nearest neighbors included in it. But we haven't gathered any additional data than that survey was prepared by another community until we some direction.
So I guess what I wanted to do was bring this out to see what, if we were looking at, percentage or just another dollar amount, I don't know. I mean, I think we all know what we make. And
You get paid? I don't.
Sorry. Anyway, it just, obviously nobody here, does this, the money, because if you do, that's unfortunate. And it just seems like it's a little outdated, as far as, I mean, we're not in this to give ourselves raises, regularly or anything, but I think, now we're looking at about 25 years. To me, that seems appropriate, considering cost of living, inflation and all that type of stuff. So just something I thought I'd consider. I did want to, ask one if you could go over again how each alderperson would become eligible for it, because it's not necessarily like, hey, next April I start making all this money.
Right, so it's when the seat opens, and Bill, you correct me if I'm wrong, but when the seat opens is when it would become effective. If you passed it tomorrow, it would affect no one until the next election, and only the newly elected people would be eligible for the raise. And then it wouldn't be till the following year, or the mayor for 3 years, that raise would become effective for after the seat has been open for election again. I mean, it may be the same person in it, but they have to come for election and won the seat in order to have the raise be in effect. So you can't vote yourself a raise is the way we say it, but.
Not like a federal elected position.
So it would be, have the council could conceivably get a raise. And the other half not until their seat is open.
Right.
Pretty
I
normal,
see that.
absolutely normal.
Well, I'm sure it's normal, it's just new to me because you're right, we've never had this.
And the suggestion was to hold them off until, all of them off until 26.
Oh, because of budget reasons,
Well,
or is that why?
so that everybody would get paid the same,
Oh, sure.
not give a raise next year. As long as it's voted on prior, is that possible?
Suppose you could say, for the first year of the term for this seat, it will be at X rate, and for the second year of the term of this seat, it will be Y rate. You can do that, you just have to establish what the pay is in advance of
Prior to
the,
the election.
prior to taking out the.
I like the consistency of that,
It
yeah.
also doesn't impact the 2025 budget. You just-
Right.
Yeah, no, if you're gonna make it $4,000 or $5,000 a month, that would be affected on it.
Yeah, that's true. Well, in that case, then maybe we don't want to wait that long.
I would like to know what the municipalities around us. Just, it doesn't mean we'll move forward with it, I just would like to know.
Okay.
I feel weird about this part, this is weird, but let's use the data to determine if we should do something or not.
We can gather that information.
Yeah, I think we should. To me, I don't think it feels weird when we're talking about 1998.
It makes it a little easier, sure.
And when you think about the amount of money that's been trying
At
to.
the time we put some.
Yeah, and you're right, Paul, I'm getting a bit short for the money. But,
It just seems like everybody spends a lot more time here than we did even 25 years. ago.
sure,
It's almost a
Sure. I do agree that it's worth looking at, and so then this could be something that we could. Revamp a little bit, or.
Not before April.
Before April, yeah.
Before the papers. Oh, we have to do it.
Oh,
next-
before papers are turned in or taken
I
out.
believe so, I can double check that, but I believe it's before.
So let's have this on the next meeting agenda, then,
If they get the numbers.
if you can get the numbers, yeah. Good,
bit.
I mean, I'm asking that, I'm not saying we put it on the agenda, the mayor has to control it.
The next meeting's the 2nd, and papers will be taken out that day, so.
Okay.
So if you're contemplating it, hold off on taking your papers out until you see what happens on that 2nd. If you're taking them all.
Yeah.
Can you do anything else on that one?
I don't think so. Yes, but
Consider mayor committee appointments. We've got an opening on the police commission, and I'd like to nominate Richard Sturm for that spot.
He's interested.
Oh, right.
Actually, there's a couple people this time now, so we need our next opening. I think we got a couple of them.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, he's way interested.
Somebody like to make that a motion?
Yes, I'd like to motion, Richard Sturm being on the, police commission.
I'll second.
Okay.
Okay, motion is second for Richard Sturm for the police commission. Any discussion?
He'll be a great fit. Or good people on that commission.
Okay, anybody else? Roll call.
Crescenti,
Yes.
Preble,
Yes.
Candy Davis.
Oh, you got that backwards, I just,
Oh, yeah.
I seconded.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Paul Davis.
Yes. Motion passes. Okay, mayor, all the personal staff reports.
I have.
Okay, go ahead.
I have an announcement to make. It's. Tim, you may feel awkward in our motion to, give this council a raise. I do not feel awkward in it, because, tonight I'm going to announce that I do not intend to run for the next term. So, when this, if this thing does, go through and there is a raise, I will be a citizen, and I'm very, very much in favor of everybody at this table. Getting at least enough to know that, your efforts and your time are valuable. Having said that, you know, most people are already probably aware of my decision. There's a lot of reasons, not with least a wish that I have been on council off and on since about 2000. And, I just feel it's time. However, still interested in helping the city, you know, I'll be talking with Chris probably at some point to see how I can serve. In a committee.
Yeah, you have a couple spots.
So, but, you know, I'll probably speak again before I'm done here, thanking everybody, but that is my intention at this point is to, I won't be taking out papers next month.
Well, thank you, and thanks for the time you have served and willing to continue to serve, so. Let's see, there'll be spots for you. Anyone else, or should I do this? Great job with the election,
Thank you.
well, you know, all the staff there. Fairly early night for as many as people came through the door and dropped them off early, so. It must have went rather well.
It did.
That's good.
I'm gonna fiddle that, Chris. Next up, I'm gonna do Emily something.
And all the staff that works on that. Especially with as many as people as we had come through here, 3,500 out of how many registered? 37.
Yeah.
Yeah. 14 years and 60 pounds ago, we had ribbon cutting for City Hall out here last week, so we've been here for a little over 14 years. Time sure flies when you're having a grand old time. I think I got one more thing here. Happy Thanksgiving. And I know everybody's so pleased when I say them kind of things at this time of year or anytime when the holidays are coming up on us so damn fast. That's all I have. Anyone else?
Well, I'm gonna jump in if I may. I took a moment to look up the statute as to establishing, wages. Must be done, before the earliest time for filing nominations for the office.
Oh.
So we can't make it unless you have a special meeting.
Or reconsider this evening would be your second option. You
Or
could,
reconsider
someone
what?
could bring it back, that item back and consider this evening.
Make that decision.
But then we have to actually say, we would look to increase. Say,
Yes.
Okay, well.
I mean, that's the other option.
I have nothing for you.
Yeah. So yes, a special meeting or this evening, or wait till the next go around. But I just wanted you to have that information there from you.
I wouldn't be comfortable making a decision tonight. I don't know if anything.
So the next go around, meaning a budget. is-
And any time after this evening, but it won't take effect until the next set of nomination papers, not this most.
So next year, okay, next year, correct, okay.
Well, I mean, the fact that it's not gonna be done, not going to go into effect
Right.
until 26, we really have quite a bit of time. Is that what you're saying? Did I miss that part?
No, I think, right.
Well, potentially, but you could, theoretically, you could have set it for the 2025, whoever's up for election in April. I think so.
Well, we decided we wanted to keep
So
it.
you could have set it for that, so yes. For your seat, you would have to wait. If it doesn't, if you don't take action before, the second, December 2nd, you're good, that seat would have to wait until the next cycle. Before.
2 years and 2 years for this seat.
And you said five.
I said before the,
Papers are available.
earliest time for filing, so the earliest time for filing is the second, and
We can take it out, but I was hoping they, God, thank you.
So, hold on a second. So we had talked about maybe, if they would all be consistent with, or you did almost half would be up in 25.
And so it's not, so the half would be 26, the other half would be 27, so we went.
But we're talking the mayor position is 3 years, so it'd be 28, so. I think that's ridiculous to have to wait that long. For what might come out to be a $20 amount for it.
Well,
Whatever, I
and
just
that's, you know,
throwing that out there.
I think I understand, Sean, and see what you're saying, is you're uncomfortable with it. I guess my thoughts, and I think most people's thoughts was, we're talking about a nominal
Right.
amount. So, I mean, I don't know, I'm just gonna throw all this out, if you don't like it, throw it right back at me, but would it mean something like 10% be considered high, low?
For 25 years, it's not high.
I know it's not, I'm not, well, I don't think you really wanna go back and adjust for inflation over 25 years, because now you are talking more than now.
Right.
But I'm talking more like, my intention was to just see it like, well, you know. In a way, I feel like, I guess I am appreciated, my time is appreciated just because of the fact that. I got something, we're never gonna get to the where this is any kind of subsequent income for anybody, I doubt. But, I don't know if we really need a lot of research if we're just gonna talk about a nominal amount.
And we can't make motions tonight.
Consider wages.
Okay. All right, I mean, that's a, I mean, the salary resolution is the tool, but that's fine, if you think under this agenda item, we can.
Statute doesn't say it has to be by any particular vehicle, it just has to be established by this body. If you want.
I used to look at that, I just, I don't, because I don't know the 10%.
I actually have some information.
That's
Okay.
that's the survey we're referring to.
Yes.
How many of our neighboring communities are on that list?
City of Edgerton, City of Fitchburg, City of Madison, City of Milton, Monona, Stoughton, Sun Prairie, Verona, Belleville, Black Earth. And it all brings the village of Cambridge. Milton, Evansville.
Evansville's on there too, those are your two, usually the, obviously closest towns are.
Yeah. So
Do you know the numbers, Wendy, or does anyone here know?
I
I gotta
have-
go get a salary resolution.
You got the numbers there?
I do.
So how much they make
Oh,
in
you got
Edgerton,
that.
yes,
I
you
have
have
it.
it on there, yeah.
One quick question, no action was taken on this before, so.
We're still in the same session. You can-
Okay, so we don't have to
No,
take a motion to
reconsider.
So, yeah, okay.
So currently, do you want the numbers? Do you
Yes.
want the
Yes,
information?
please.
So you know, I pulled them on my hat. No, I had it, this was from a while ago. Right now, council. Older person makes $22.20 a year. $2,220 a year. Mayor makes, woo, big watch it, $2,520. So. If you'd like me to compare that to Fitchburg, double those numbers. Oh, excuse me, Fitchburg mayor makes 10 grand. Or set dates is
Yeah,
probably
that's
full time.
different.
Let's go to
So Evansville makes, per meeting, council person $100 a meeting. So.
Okay.
That's per council, so that's $200 a month.
Which is pretty close to what we are right now.
Right, 2,600 they had.
Milton makes $300 a quarter. 3 times 12 is 36. Or- Yeah.
And the mayor for both of those, please?
For Evansville, it's $550 a quarter, and Milton $550 a quarter.
So it's per meeting for Evansville, for council, with quarter for mayor.
Correct. Now for,
The same as you are.
let's see what Stoughton pays. No, we can't compare the mayor because that's a full-time position. They get 80 grand, 80.5.
That sounds good to me.
I think you need to move.
Tax my social security.
However, the council people make $3,600 a year versus 22. Let me see what else, like,
So your 10% is pretty dang close. So if because we make 2,220 and Milton makes 26.
Well.
Excuse me,
My guess is-
Evansville makes 26.
my guess is Milton, they're probably gonna be relooking at theirs, because theirs is very high.
They will once we do this probably.
Yeah.
The problem I have with, I don't think Fitchburg really, I
They're
don't know what the
not.
population of Fitchburg is, but it looks really big.
It's 30,000.
It's
Just
not
like
a-
that.
Yeah.
I would never consider that.
Still is what, about 15? Twice the size,
Oh, more than twice,
is more than 15? So we're on 20,000?
between 15 and 20, but they're more than twice the size of us,
Well, that's what I said, do it twice the size or more,
or more, yeah.
yeah.
Evansville
seems. I don't know,
Those are our two comps.
Yeah.
And they're both.
I
in
don't
line
think
with you,
Fitchburg
not
is a
less.
top at all, so.
Cambridge, No.
What is Cambridge? Just out of curiosity.
2,400 a year,
And they're,
we're at 22,
they're half the size.
they're half the size, yeah. Cottage Grove, $200 a month.
Much bigger.
Deerfield? Deerfield's smaller than us.
Yeah, they're pretty close to Cambridge.
Guess what? They make twice as, $49.22 a year. So that's twice. DeForest. Oh, 8,000 a year. Plus $50 per meeting. Excuse me, that's the village president, I take that back. The village trustee is 5,000 a year plus $50 a meeting.
So we're at 22, our comps are 26, Cambridge 24, I mean, they're all around that 25. So if you were to say you're 10%, just to say we should get something after 25 years, or you all, we've been here for a while. 10% on that would be $220. So you're up to $2,440. With your 10% rounding,
2,000 what?
440. Oh,
I think it's 2,500.
That's my thought.
Huh?
That was my thought.
What's that? Oh my God, I'm thinking too much like you.
After you threw that number out.
Yeah.
so if we say that, then with the mayor.
Continue up accordingly.
So we say 10%, that goes up 10%-ish.
Ours is the,
Another 250. So. I said.
the mayor should go up as. And consistent with the,
Are we saying 10% or 2,500?
That's what I was doing the percentage, so 25 on top of. 0, is 12.6%. Take 12.6% on top of your 2,520, and that'd be 28.40.
yeah, I like that.
Um,
So maybe 12%, that gives us around numbers. So does anybody feel comfortable enough to move that?
I don't know.
What, I do.
I,
Great.
I feel great about it.
I do because I'm really somebody who's
Who would, okay,
not gonna be, that has to be elected again, right?
Yeah, nobody said.
It would be self-serving for you to say that, is what you're saying.
It just feels, but look, if Matt Go runs against me and he beats me, well, then it doesn't, I don't get a dime out of it, right? So.
Right. Oh, I see what you're
whose
saying.
seats are up? April the deadline. Okay.
That's the person that should have, it makes sense, that
I guess to me, it's.
self-serving.
I think that. It becomes an issue that I don't know that it needs to be, I feel like, most of this, it's a commitment that we make to the community and. I don't know that adding more money gets, to me, it seems like if it would get more people involved, more people to run, more people interested in politics and. Doing those type of things, I might be for it, but I think what this does is, it's a small amount on a small amount. That it just, to me, it just. I just don't know that it's absolutely necessary, I don't know that it changes.
It isn't
Much
much
of anything.
necessary, but consider the fact that the last time it was raised was 99.
Yeah.
So there's precedent for raising it.
Sure.
And I think, 25 years is. I just don't think that is asking too much.
Yeah, and I was, the thing I was thinking about too is. It's not obviously, and we all know it's definitely not for the money, but there is a sacrifice that's made. There's kids sporting events that we miss. There's phone calls where people just clearly just wanna vent, which is fine. But like those sitting in a parking lot of a grocery store for 45 minutes and somebody's talking to you about so many places their trash can.
Mhm.
There is something to be said for being something for that.
I don't know, but I can tell you, you said something about time commitment from 25 years ago. I think there's a big time change. I feel the time commitment is almost one of my reasons. Is because I feel like my time spent has gone up substantially in the last 6 years. And a lot of that is, a lot of that has to do with my role in planning commission because of all the subdivisions and stuff. But council usually follows along with that too, so I mean, the city is, in my opinion, busier now. And we're actually committed to things like subdivisions and growth and whatnot, and I think you're gonna get busier.
Yeah.
And I think that's just a little bit of compensation for the increase in time, and like you said, I mean, I don't, I don't have young children, but I do have young grandchildren, and I have missed a game here and there, now it's just. So you or Tim or, and consider the fact that, I think that's one of the reasons we lost Casey, of course, we gained Michelle, which was awesome. But I think there's something to it, I don't think I would just, dismiss it.
Yeah, and I like I'll use that you as, I remember the first time I called you, you were, I don't know if you remember this, but I called you were driving with your grandkids to a hockey game and it was like one of these, you were heading up to Madison or something, maybe it was wrestling, some type of sporting event, and it was, and that type of stuff, it kind of sticks to you, it's like, yeah, 'cause we've still got these, like, I guess my only thing is, I'm fine with discussing it, I don't know that I'm personally comfortable tonight doing it, maybe it's something that after the election, I feel better about and have more information about, but it just, I don't know, it's just.
I hear you, but then it's not.
But
affecting
it's
things
another
for
3
so
years.
many-
Yeah.
So I'm going to make a motion to, adjust.
Now, wait a minute,
Wait a minute.
can he, since he's not running?
Anyone can, you just
Okay.
set it for the seats.
If you wanna keep-
I'm actually probably the one that
He's
should.
not benefiting from it.
No,
It won't
well,
take a fall.
nobody is.
Right, the short answer is yes, he can.
If you wanna keep your name out of the paper with associated with this, I'll do the motion, I don't care.
This is, to me, it's 12%. After 25 years, I think I can justify it. Okay. So I will make a motion to approve or to move the wages for mayor to 2,008, so I wrote down 850. And then the wages for council to $2,500 annually, effective. How do I say that? It's a year, so that all of us get the same.
April of 26.
Yeah.
And, but the mayor would be, is that this first?
I'm up this year.
Okay.
So,
He would wait
So-
like a couple of the council.
not the other 3 council.
Right, okay.
So you would only, 2 of your 3 years.
Right.
Okay.
If I get.
I'm okay. So
Thank you.
whatever they said, that's what I'd like my motion to be, please.
So effective April of 2026. Correct?
Does that work that way?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yes, please.
Got it.
Or seat coming open no sooner than April 2026.
Okay.
Is there a way we can do the alders and the mayor separately?
Yes.
Is there a second on,
Right now, we have a motion on the floor.
did you get a second on it?
Not yet.
Second,
Okay, motion a second to increase wages now. Sean, you had a,
I would like to do them separately if we could, the votes for like.
I have a question. What? I think we have had this. We've had, oh, I guess we have, I was thinking of something else, but, what if an older person is appointed to the council?
You're appointed to a seat.
Right, okay, so you would enjoy the wages of that seat, even if you wouldn't have to wait until you are actually elected yourself.
Right, I mean, again, after the seat becomes effective for that seat.
Right.
You serve a week, you serve the entire term, whatever, that seat has that work.
Okay,
and if it's next year, sometime in 25 or early 26, it would be the current wages right now, but the current until after.
right, okay.
After the organizational meetings, at the time to do it, or the April wages.
That's when they're appointed, is that the reorganization
Right.
meeting?
Right, it becomes effective with that point.
Okay. So there's a motion in a second, but Sean, you wanted to do separate? or-
I'd like to if we could. I don't know.
You know why?
Oh.
Or is it just voted on, if you want to take them separate? and-
I think the cleanest way would be to, vote it down if that's what happens, and then take them up separately. So I don't think it's proper for a motion.
Yeah, we've done that.
We've done that. We're not to amend it.
I don't think it's I mean, someone can do it, but I don't think that makes as much sense.
I think it would be clearer if you just
Yeah.
voted it down and then made separate motions for each seat, or for each, position.
Do you think it's just gonna be cleaner that way?
Wow.
Or you have
He wants to approve the mayor, and he wants to.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
I
okay,
know what he's doing.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
so they're gonna go around, and you're gonna get outvoted, we're gonna go ahead and pass it.
Okay, there's a motion and a second on the floor to adjust council members' wages and mayor. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Shaw,
Yes.
Paul Davis,
Yes.
Kribel,
No.
Chrisanti,
Yes.
Candy Davis,
Yes.
Motion passes 4-1. I'm really curious as to what your thoughts were, but.
No, it's okay.
No, Mayor Cyril.
Are you done with your update? Or do you need
Yes.
more? I had one, if I could.
We'll go back to that. I'm.
Well, we're still on that item, are we not?
No, actually, we better than
Jump back to a lot of. Oh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I jump? I just want to remind everybody about the Home for the Holidays Parade Saturday. Did you have that on there?
not this Saturday.
November 30th. Parade start time is at 6 o'clock.
Library activities.
Library activities,
Yeah.
the,
They have some cookies and cocoa and.
and it's not
Meet
this
Mrs.
Saturday,
Claus.
it's next Saturday.
yeah, November 30th.
The Lions will be at the Masonic Lodge with free hot chocolate and.
Chili and grilled cheese, and Santa and Mrs. will be there.
At the end, usually
Wow,
they
this
come
is
at the end of
really,
the parade. And then we have crafts and that's something, a couple times Dan Riley has played.
Yeah, it didn't sound like, I don't know
Well,
if he's going
he's not, yeah.
to
He's
here.
got a little situation
Yeah, lots of activities all day long.
over, yeah.
And hot chocolate for the judges is not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Are you trying to give me a handful?
Well, I just, the first year I did it, they gave it to us, and we haven't had it.
That's because we
Okay.
served it. We
Yeah.
don't anymore.
I'll make sure
Well,
you got
maybe
some
we
hot
could
chocolate.
Get
Paul.
it from the Lions, from the Masonic Lodge.
That's right. You
Yeah.
got it.
Don't
Yeah.
worry, Paul, I got you. We'll
Thank you,
make
Wendy.
sure you got hot chocolate.
We got reindeer.
Yes, I got the information, and Mark said perfect, he'll get in touch with that person. Yes,
Okay, let's.
yes, hopefully, so still, you're right, it's not done till it's done.
Okay, anyone else or it's time to get out of here?
Yes.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion second adjourned, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.